Peace and love, gamers and players. Colorwind here with another edition of My Gaming Landscape. This time it's going to be between the dates of July 12th through the 31st. I only got 4 games to talk about, so let's get right to it. You might be seeing on the screen right now some really dank-ass footage, and the reason is because the first game I got to talk about, rather, is Soul Blade. On the PlayStation 1, the original Soul Calibur game. I decided to play something old, and I was playing this earlier this year, and I never finished it, so I decided to go back to it. First off, the reason why the footage is as it is because this freaking game does not want to be recognized by my capture software. I don't know why the Elgato won't recognize it. It won't recognize it through the PlayStation 2. It won't recognize it through the PlayStation 3, which is the 2 ways that I can play this game. So I said screw it, and I set up my little tripod with my phone and recorded ghetto-ass style, so that's what you're seeing. Moving on to the game proper, you know, the game holds up remarkably well for being a 25-year-old game, but it doesn't hold up entirely. There is a lot of stuff in this game that is, quite frankly, bullshit, especially when you start playing the Edge Master mode. When you're playing arcade mode, everything is mostly fine. You can go through it quite simply. Enemies get harder and harder, and the mechanics, you know, they feel kind of stiff. It's not as smooth as later Soul Calibur games are, but you know, that's to be expected. It still feels like Soul Calibur at the end of the day. And it's still a lot of fun, and it's cool to see some of the characters, how they started off, how Mitsuduki was essentially the Ryu of the game before he got replaced, and then brought back again in Soul Calibur 6 as the Ryu. That's weird. But then you get to Edge Master mode, and the challenges that they put you up against, and the AI is insane. I don't remember this from playing it back in the day, but the AI straight up cheats. They'll make characters perform in ways that they never do. I was getting outpaced by Rock while playing as Taki, the fastest character in the game. Rock being one of the slowest characters in the game. It is insane the kind of things that you can do, and then especially because the way the Edge Master mode works is that they have you earning weapons with different stats. There's actually stats to these weapons now, and the stats matter a lot, to the point that sometimes you'll be going up against an opponent and they'll hit you and it will do so much damage, or they'll attack you and their attacks will be so fast, or you'll attack them and it'll do next to nothing, or it does all this damage to your weapon to the point that you lose your weapon after only a few strikes. Now, to be fair, you can do the exact same things to your opponent depending on what weapons you find and collect, but sometimes these combinations of special effects are just unfair. Nevertheless, I went through it. I 100% of the game, so I'm done with it. And I ultimately had a good time, but wow, I have not raged at a game like this in a while, because I am just not used to this kind of bullshit anymore in your more modern games. Speaking of, I played some more of Nier Replicant. Again, it was not grabbing me. I played some more of it. I unlocked some more areas. I fought a couple of bosses. I'm still not done with, I think, the first chapter, and I'm gonna just give up. Maybe at another time when I have some more, I don't know, if I find myself wanting to play it, or maybe I'll be in the mood for it after giving Nier Automata a try. And Nier Replicant is kind of the same way. It's a 10-year-old game, and it feels like a 10-year-old game. And quite frankly, the original Nier was not a great game to begin with. So I'm just moving on. It's just not grabbing me. Moving on stream, I've been playing Yakuza Kiwami 2 and Ghost of Tsushima. These are the last 2 games on the list. You can see what I've been thinking of the game as the VODs go up on my channel. But to sum up, Yakuza Kiwami 2, I couldn't complete it on stream because they actually blocked the ability to stream it. So I'm gonna have to pre-record it on using my Elgato. I hope it works. It better. Normally pre-recording without streaming works fine. But the game is a lot of fun, but it's Yakuza, so it's still got the beat 'em up style that all the games have except for the most recent one. And it's fun. It's not as diverse as other games like Zero, for example, because you can't switch styles. But the better graphic style and some of the ways that they have you upgrade is interesting. Ultimately, though, I do feel like it's a bit of a lesser Yakuza game. I don't like it as much as 1 or 0, which I've gone through already. I've also gone through 4. I can't quite remember exactly how that played though, so I can't really make a judgment call. We'll see how the ending is, but as I've more or less already finished the game, my overall thoughts are that it's good. Story's not amazing though. The story gets pulled off into too many different directions with the Korean Mafia, the Jung Ryong, and Ryuji Goda. He's supposed to be the big bad, and there's too many plot threads in different directions that make the story feel a little muddled. As for Ghost of Tsushima, I barely just started playing that. I pretty much just replaced Yakuza Kiwami 2 on streaming. It's good, it's fun. Not much to say just because I only had one session with it, but something about the game makes me always kind of drop off, and I think it's because the world feels a little too expansive and there's like too many things to do in it without me feeling like there's a certain direction that I should be going for because they have the most benefits. Everything kind of benefits you in the same amount of ways, regardless of what the effort requires of you. But the story is strong. I like that I rescued my sensei, so to speak, already, even though that was like the goal at the beginning of the game. We now have a different goal that feels fluid and not responsive, but realistic and makes sense to the story of the game. I like that. It makes me feel accomplished while still feeling like I have more to do. Yeah, I'm gonna continue playing it though. Combat's still great, not amazing, but still good, better than most games like this, I think. And with that being said, that's gonna do it for my gaming landscape for this month. Thank you very much for listening to me. I hope you enjoyed the footage that you're seeing. One game that I did not get to play that I really wanted to this whole time was Guilty Gear Strive, so you're probably going to be hearing a lot about that game from me next time, because I didn't get to play it this past 3 weeks. With that being said, please like, share, comment, subscribe, click the notification bell, and with that being said, peace and love, gamers and players. Colorwind out.